Alright, let's have a look at some valerian herb, or valerian root, or Valeriana officinalis from the Caprifolaceae, or honeysuckle family. Thanks for donating, Heidi, and let's get into it. So it's a perennial, and I know this one from having it in my tea, and it acts like a massive muscle relaxant. I've only ever one time in my life just to test it, not because I got given it, taken Valium. And I remember it like sort of put me to sleep. We were at Nimbin, we were super stoned, and my friends had it, and I just wanted to try the tablet because I'm against synthetics and pills. And yeah, I'd have to say that this is a rival for Valium. And also, if you tweak a certain flavonoid in species of passion fruit vine, you can get a very, very heavy muscle relaxant property. Anyway, or sedative, like a tranquilizer effect, and definitely valerian root has that sleep mechanism. It just relaxes you. So perennial, so it's long-lived. Okay, let's have a look here. Alkaloids: actinidine, chatinine, schiethanine, valerianine, and valerine. Isoflavoramide may be created in the extraction process, and there's a link there if you want to learn how to do that. Gamma aminobutyric acid, GABA. Isovaleric acid. Iridoids, sesquiterpenes contained in the volatile oil, valerianic acid, hydrovalerianic acid, and acetoxyvalerianic acid, flavonones, hesperidine, and 6-methyl-lapaginin, and linarin, or linarin. Okay. Sesquiterpenes are a class of terpene that consists of 3 isoprene units. Okay, we don't need to look into that. Medicinal uses for insomnia, restless leg syndrome. It's an anxiolytic, so it treats anxiety disorders. The European Medicine Agency approved the health claim that valerian can be used as a traditional herbal medicine to relieve mild nervous tension and as a sleep aid. So they've even said it at the European Medical Agency. It's effective as a dried extract and is considered plausible. So that's good to see that they are, taking it into account. Adverse effects: because the compounds in valerian produce nervous system depression, they should not be used with other depressants. So don't use it with ethanol, benzodiazepines, barbiturates, opiates. Don't use it with kava or antihistamine drugs. Moreover, no pregnant adult human hepatotoxicity has been associated with short-term use. A few days to several months of herbal preparations containing valerian and scutellaria, skullcap, as an unregulated product. The concentration, contents, and potential contaminants of valerian preparations cannot be easily determined because of this uncertainty and the potential for toxicity in fetus and hepatotoxicity in the mother. So you don't want to use it during pregnancy, and look into side effects, which we'll have a look here on WebMD quickly. It's called All Heal, Amtilla, Baldrian, Pulgwurzel, Belgium valerian, common valerian, fragrant valerian, guardian heliotrope. Yeah, I've heard that before. Okay, used for sleep disorders, psychological stress, sedative. Yep. Okay, menopausal symptoms. So you can reduce the severity and frequency of hot flashes for menopausal women. Okay, so you don't want to use it if you're on HIV medicine. Psychiatric side effects due to medications for HIV. Contradictory evidence for anxiety, but put it in your routine for anti-anxiety. The thing is, you need to ground. If you're anxious, you need to ground. That's the main thing that's going to treat your anxiety. Getting the positive charge, or the positrons off you, and getting back to negative charge. And that's going to do it more than any herb, any pill, or any drug. Okay, so if you've got massive anxiety, you just need to ground. Couple hours a day to start, and you can just do an hour or two a day, and you'll see exactly what I mentioned it for. Treats stress and all that too, both the grounding and valerian, I mean. Can have side effects like headaches, upset stomach. Well, it's probably going to happen if it interacts with parasites in your stomach, like candidas and stuff. You might get that. From my use, I didn't get any bad side effects at all. A little bit of sluggishness because it's a muscle relaxant and you just want to go to sleep a bit. I just put it behind hibiscus tea and stevia because it tastes like old socks. So it doesn't have a good flavour. And it slows down the central nervous system. Anesthesia and other medications used during surgery also affect the central nervous system, so the combined effects might be too much. But I don't know how many people are going to be drinking it going into the operating room. It's a pretty safe one, from what I can see. Let's see the dosing, what they say about dosing. 400 to 900 milligram valerian extract before bedtime for as long as 6 weeks. 120 milligram of valerian extract with 80 milligram of lemon balm extract before bedtime for up to 30 days. So yeah, to put it with lemon balm would be a good idea. It's a nice tonic for the nervous system and hyperactivity as well. Up to 500 milligram of valerian and hops extract. Valerian and passion flower extract, yeah, most definitely. Especially if it's got a tweaked flavonoid which makes it really strong, the passion flower. I've experienced that, and you could basically smoke it like cannabis but not get hallucinogenic effects on my old farm that I worked on. Take valerian 30 minutes to 2 hours before the bedtime. For menopausal symptoms, 225 milligram of ground valerian root has been taken 3 times a day for 8 weeks, and 500 milligram has been taken twice daily for 8 weeks. So that's the dosage ranges. I didn't check the other day the dosage range of the wormwood. I forgot. And the black walnut. Oh no, we did check the black walnut one. Okay, from Mayo Clinic website. Before you take valerian, do what they say here. They say valerian seems to not have an effect or for sure dosage, but we just saw some good dosage recommendations on WebMD. Side effects, some dizziness and stuff they say here as well. Don't need to keep going over the side effects. What, is that all they've got here? They're not... Alright. So that didn't give me much. Old Mayo Clinic. It's at healthline.com. So there it is there. Insomnia, nervousness, trembling. Yeah, I'd say trembling most definitely. Headaches, somewhat yes. And stress, most definitely. It will help. It's not going to be the be-all, end-all to stress. You'll probably just rather smoke a joint, but some people don't want to take cannabis. You know what? This mixed in valerian root in coconut oil, cooked in with the cannabis. Oh, that's something I'd like to try. It would probably just make it even more powerful, sort of depressant feeling on the nervous system, like a non-firing sort of, not too much hyper-firing, and also the muscle relaxant would pick up if you mixed it with the cannabis, and you might get rid of some come down. I don't know. I'm going to try that one day. Yeah, common prescription drugs for anxiety, such as Xanax and Valium, also increase GABA levels in the brain. Researchers aren't sure how valerian root works to ease insomnia and anxiety. They think it subtly increases the levels of a chemical known as GABA in the brain. GABA contributes to a calming effect in the body, and that's why they've related to Xanax and Valium. Here we say for a dosage, they say 300 to 600 milligrams of valerian 30 minutes to 2 hours before the bed. For tea, soak 2 to 3 grams of dried herbal valerian root in 1 cup of hot water. So that 300 to 600 milligrams is powdered form then. That's about what they were saying on WebMD. For anxiety, 120 to 200 milligrams 3 times a day of valerian. Yeah, you might want to watch it in the daytime. If you're sleepy during the day, it might make it difficult for you to participate in your usual daytime activities. It does make me feel like sitting down. In a placebo-controlled study, women with insomnia took 300 milligram 30 minutes before bed. The women reported no significant improvements in the onset or quality of sleep. Yeah, well look, it's not an honorigan. Maybe that's why. Because it's not meant to be an honorigan. It's not a dream generator, it's not mugwort or cannabis, you know. It's valerian, it just relaxes your muscles basically. And affects that GABA. Let's go back up to that. That thing on GABA here. Yeah, GABA contributes to a calming effect in the body. So if you want to know how it works, look deeper into GABA, I would tell you. Who shouldn't take it? Pregnant women and young children. Powdered valerian capsules or tea can be bought from drugstores, but we know to avoid the synthetic pharmacy because they're the fake apothecary. Go to places like Happy High Herbs, the real apothecaries. Okay. Valerian will make you drowsy, yeah, that's what it's supposed to do. Okay, let's move on, because it seems to me we've got a whole lot of doctory-like people trying to say, no, it's not really that good, take our drugs instead. But they're the white coat doctors, and I'm the multicolored coat doctor, the shaman doctor. So I'll tell you the opposite of them. And to figure out how to use valerian, not run away from valerian because you couldn't figure it out the first day. Because I know that's what a lot of people do. And I've given it to them. I've given them things like this and other herbs, and they're not sensitive enough to people, friends in the past and so on, and they dismiss it. When I know very well it works, and it just means they're not tuned into the energy, and most likely very numb from things like over sugar eating and many other things we won't go into. So introduction, we don't really need to go into that. Insomnia, teas, tinctures, make it tincture for sure. You could put curcuma with this as well. Not that curcuma has a sedative effect, but it helps like calm the insides down, I've noticed. So you could put it even with curcuma. The reason I mention that is because other people might not have thought about that combination. Like we saw the combination mentioned of like passion flower and stuff in WebMD. I would add curcuma into the mix with valerian root. It'll also make it taste a bit better. Okay, the valerianic acid increases levels of GABA, a neurotransmitter, brain cell activity. Also has anti-inflammatory effects by reducing NF-kappa B. Oh, so nuclear factor kappa beta, the master inflammatory molecule in our body, which actually in a psychedelic trip once, I got shown how to turn that off mentally. And you move the right side of it forward and the left side of the molecule towards you, left. And that was unlocking the protein or the NF-kappa beta or nuclear factor kappa beta, and I was shown that on a psychedelic cannabis and mushroom trip. And I was shown more stuff, and I've written about that in consciousazine, the website. Okay, the recording cut out. Let's get on with it. Iridoids. Valeriportrates and their derivatives have sedative effects, but are unstable and break down during storage or in water, making their activity difficult to assess. And maybe the powdered form has its advantages if it breaks down in water. So maybe that's why people are having varied success with this. Isovaleric acid prevents involuntary muscle contractions. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. I noticed a lot on my muscles, and it was really nice. Its action is similar to valproic acid, which is used to treat epilepsy. So it's antispasmodic. Hesperidin and linorin are antioxidant flavonoids with sleep-enhancing effects, anti-seizure effects by blocking calcium channels. I don't know too much about calcium channels at the moment. That's something I'm going to look into soon. GABA is also found in valerian extracts in quantities sufficient to cause a sedative effect. It's not known whether it can cross the blood-brain barrier. Glutamine present in water but not alcohol extracts of valerian root can cross the blood-brain barrier and be converted to GABA. Interesting. Okay, let's see. So, more on the GABA receptor in the amygdala, which is to do with emotions as well, so it will help your sort of stressing thoughts, you know. Okay. It also increases GABA in the brain by preventing GABA from being taken back into the nerve cells, also by inhibiting the breakdown of GABA by enzymes, so it inhibits the breakdown of GABA. Aside from valerianic acid, other compounds can bind to GABA, including lignans and other flavonoid antioxidants. Okay, activates adenosine receptors, serotonin receptors. Valerian root inhibits prostaglandin. So what is that? Something to do with the prostate? Let me have a look. I don't know. Prostaglandins. This accounts for its effectiveness in reducing painful uterine cramps. It does this by action of valeriportrates, although the mechanism is not understood. Okay. So there we have a good article here though. Relaxes blood vessels, may reduce cortisol levels. Yeah, I think definitely because it messes with the amygdala. You're probably going to have less what's that word I'm looking for with a P? Not pertinent, but like annoying thoughts. I forgot the word I was trying to think of. Okay, so valerian prevents memory loss and improves nerve cell production and development of sterone levels, mouse equivalent of cortisol, preventing oxidation. Memory center of the brain, the hippocampus. Okay, reduces nuclear factor molecule in the body. Okay, there's some more studies. We don't need to go through all these studies, but here we go. In a 2-day study, 27 elderly patients with mental problems, 44% reported perfect sleep and 90 reported improved sleep. Well, there you go. Most of them said it improved their sleep. It also helps reduce sleep disturbances in a variety of health conditions: rheumatoid, hypothyroidism, PTSD, HIV, benzodiazepine, so withdrawal from certain drugs or pharmaceuticals because they're not synthetic, natural created in a laboratory apothecary. Okay, can pause the screen. I'm not going to read everything. One study with depression depressive disorder and anxiety found the high doses of valerian, 1,000 milligram a day, taken in combination with St. John's wort. Now remember, St. John's wort is holding a lot of precursor of serotonin. So when you put valerian and St. John's wort together, it'd be another good mix. So we've mentioned 6 good mixes now, or 5 good mixes for a tincture or something. Anyway, so for 6 weeks, reduced symptoms of anxiety and depression happened 66%. For 6 weeks, reduced symptoms of anxiety and depression by 66% by these people. Alright, lots of studies on this. Improved stress management, yes, compared to kava. Neuroepinephrine, okay. Valerian reduced psychological stress in rats by maintaining serotonin and norepinephrine levels in the brain region associated with fear and anxiety, the hippocampus and amygdala. Deficiencies of those neurotransmitters are linked to depression. Okay. And reduces corticosterone, which is part of stress response. Good for ADHD, which means attention dialed to higher dimensions. And so at some point, us ADHD people like this stuff on the come down of our natural trips into hyperspace, because we're attention dialed to higher dimensions. That's why we have all this energy. Not because it's a fake disease brought on with autism and vaccines. That's not the whole story of ADHD or ADD. Trust me, I live with it, I understand. So in a 7-week study, 170 children under 12 with hyperactivity and concentration difficulties, because this world's full of annoying bullshit. The combination of restlessness and so on. Yeah, it's a sedative. It's gonna do that. Okay. Reducing menstrual cramps, decrease menopausal symptoms, improve heart health, and high can get you. Valerian root may improve. Okay, interesting. So it improves the insomnia of cancer patients. Seizures and epilepsy may improve OCD. Make you dizzy. Some people have reported, but I think if it makes you dizzy, it's a parasitical, because that happens so often with even myself when I take herbs. So I think a lot of people are sick out there, and everyone's filled with parasites. So many herbs I've seen give people very negative reactions. And pain is energy leaving the body anyway, so that's the parasite's pain leaving the body. Antispasmodic, like I thought before. I knew it. Some study or something there. Kidney damage, increased dreaming. Yeah, actually I do agree with that. It's not an onorgan, so it's not a dream generating sort of thing like pineapple sage or mugwort. Those things are more onorgan, but valerian seems to just relax you so that you can get into like a relaxed sleep state. That's about all, I would say. And they're noting here GABA as well, but I think it acts because it acts on anti-pain, and the largest cause when people are questioned why they can't sleep is pain. And so that's why I reckon valerian root is helping people sleep, because it stops the pain. Knee pain, joint pain, migraines and headaches, hand tremors, heart palpitations, bipolar. So look at that, there's a lot of things that it can help. Side effects may include these things here, See, dizziness and headaches is actually mentioned in the side effects when it can also be mentioned as treating those things. So you're going to have to play around with this and learn herbal tonicalism, basically. How this is not going to hurt you and how it will take your headache away instead of create one. You're going to have to play with doses and figure out why it might be doing something to you and think for once. Okay, so it can create liver toxicity and you can get allergic reactions possibly. I'm going to move on to the next article because it says 24 valerian benefits, and that's a lot. Can grow to 2 feet in height. Okay, here we go. Joint pains, blood pressure. Yeah, we've seen all that. Ah, here we go. Treats sciatica. So that's a certain type of back pain, kind of a shooting nerve pain. So it can help to treat that, most definitely. ADHD mentioned again, because it's a sedative, you know. Hypothyroidism. Okay, so this herb's famous for its muscle relaxing and sleep aiding effects. Sleeplessness is associated with hypothyroidism. Okay, let's have a look here. Okay, valerian roots helps to increase the GABA in the body. That's a neurotransmitter and sends direct messages to the brain, thereby calming down the nerves. But also because it's like winding down your nervous system, it's going to stop the thyroid pumping so much. Your glands are like little pumps. Actually, what you want to do is, if you have hypothyroidism or sleep problems, is put a pillow or two under your bum and no pillows under your head and get a negative 45-degree angle, and that actually turns off the thyroid so you can sleep better, because your thyroid's not then just pumping away hormones. That will help your menopausal stress as well, and sleep disorders, stop hand tremors. Okay, so valerian helps with vertigo as well. Interesting. Here's a little direction for tea, which I mean is not rocket science. Shin splints. Okay, using the root aids in making your muscles be relaxed, hence you will feel less pain. And that's how it can help your shin splints. Okay, I guess we can throw that one in. It can dumb you down. Okay, hold on. Thinking. It can lead to health problems. Hold on, what are we reading here? It causes accidents. They're talking about insomnia. Oh, okay, they're talking about insomnia's bad effects there. Okay. It kills your sex drive, so on and so forth. That's insomnia they're talking about. Does that. And you can drink valerian to treat insomnia and hence battle those things they've said above. Okay, home remedies for palpitations. Yeah, most definitely for heart palpitations, I'd say valerian root would help a lot. Watch out if you're a pregnant woman. Blood pressure. Valerian can also help to normalize the blood pressure, considering that one of the biggest causes in the United Kingdom is cardiovascular disease, and in the USA, this herb can be a popular choice for many people. It can also help anxiety. We've talked about that. GABA has been mentioned 100 million times today. Treat fibromyalgia, most definitely. Restless leg syndrome, headaches, migraines. Look, in my opinion, this is a herb that goes hand in hand with grounding, and you need to learn how to ground and negatively charge your body via the K1 meridian under the big ball of your big toe. That's the part that sends a little Morse code of all your pain and issues to the madre, the earth. When you're standing on it, you'll feel your toe have a slight vibration, and that's a Morse code. of the nervous system pain and worries that you're now talking to the Earth Logos via the Earth Bolos about. That's grounding.